Okay, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock, and it's time to learn about legal stuff. The show is called Legal Lane with Vanessa Lane Jennings. Vanessa is an attorney here in Ocala, and her law firm is the Jennings Law Firm, and they focus on all kinds of law. This show is an opportunity for you to get some free advice. If you call in, Vanessa will be happy to answer your question. My recommendation is that you call in now. Don't wait till the end. Don't be shy. If you would prefer not to speak on a radio show to an attorney about your circumstances, we understand, and we ask that you call Vanessa's law firm at 804-0092, or just go visit Vanessa. That's what I would do. I would just go sit across from her, 2945 Northeast 3rd Street, and here in Ocala on the second floor, and you'll be able to get your serious questions answered. But don't let our fun, because we always have fun with Vanessa, don't let our fun stop you from calling with a serious question. We will hold back and let you get your question out there and let Vanessa answer it. So again, the number here right now is 622-9622. Vanessa, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am getting over a cold, but other than that, I'm doing well. How are y'all?
You're like part of my family now. I just found out the other day you're working with somebody in my family.
I know. I found out the same day, too.
You found out the same day?
Well, I don't know, maybe the same day. But
The day we bought Girl Scout cookies?
Girl Scout cookies are important. That's where you find out all the good stuff.
That's right. Thin Mints. They're all good.
Thin Mints. What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Samoas.
Ooh, that's with the coconut.
I love them. Is that the coconut one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tagalongs, I think, are my second.
Is that the peanut butter one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you got too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He shared all the cookies here with us.
Sort of.
They're all
Sorta.
gone.
Well, they were out there. It's not my fault if nobody got any.
True story. I mean, you have to defend what you want. Go for it.
Yes, and I won't name names or anything, but you're helping a lady in my family with a divorce, and it's something that's not easy. But she said you were doing everything. She said she really appreciates the fact, I'm trying to figure out what's the best word, appreciates is a good word, that you figured out how to do it without it being, there's enough stress as it is when you're getting a divorce.
That's correct.
Yeah, so you're helping her out. What is your biggest challenge in any divorce, if there's a way to group them all together, I guess?
To get past the anger for everybody.
Oh, really?
So you can get to the bottom. Because for the lawyers, it's about dollars and cents. And for everyone else, it's you're emotionally invested. So you have to get them past that to see, okay, what is in your best interest? Getting everything not necessarily is in your best interest, especially if there's kids involved, because the other side needs stuff and money too to support the children.
This is probably a question I may be able to predict the answer, but let me ask it anyway. Do you feel like women prefer to have a female attorney during a divorce and a man prefers to have a male attorney? Not that you couldn't represent a man, I'm not saying that, but I'm just wondering what they prefer. It's like with doctors, we prefer male or female.
I think there's a preference in the beginning, and then you start meeting with different attorneys, and you realize that everyone there's just so many different personalities. So then it becomes a personality game.
Okay. And then the sex of the attorney has nothing to do with it, right?
Correct. Because I've had many, I guess I see it more with men. Like many men think that having a female come be their attorney, we're not going to understand or fight for them as much, or we think that women should have the children more.
Oh, really?
So they think that a guy would fight for them more, where that could and couldn't be true. I meant it just depends on personality of the attorney. Yeah. But I meant from my perspective, like I've gone through an experience, I have personal experience with fathers fighting for rights for their children, and not being successful. So that gives me more motivation when I fight for a guy who's going for more time sharing.
Wonderful. I love that.
So it just really is a personality thing, and if the personality isn't mesh.
See, I went through a divorce. I had a male attorney. He was pretty good, but he was wrong.
Yeah.
he was wrong on a couple of things.
Robin was very emphatical with her, yes.
And
yes, he is wrong.
And I did what I thought was right.
Yep.
And should I tell you what I did, or should I not tell you what I did on the air?
I don't know I can't answer that because I don't know what you're about to say.
Well, he felt like, okay, I'm going to tell you. my son is now 30, so this is when my son was like 4.
Okay.
So it was a very long time ago. And I'm not doing the blame game. I'm just talking about the attorney part of this.
Okay.
He felt like the judge would never go along with 50-50 sharing of the child.
Okay.
He felt like that. And I said, so I'm only going to see my son once every 2 weekends? And it broke my heart, Vanessa. I just didn't want that. And so I said, well, what if and they said, you can't divide 7 into 2 because it's an odd number. And I said, well, what about 14? Can you divide 14 into 2? Can I make my time 2 weeks instead of 1? They didn't know what I had to say. And basically, I changed the definition of a day.
He did.
I said a day will be defined as 9 a.m. till 9 a.m. That way I don't have to pick them up at 1 after midnight.
Right.
Yeah.
I changed the definition of a weekend from Friday morning at 9 a.m. until Monday morning at 9 a.m. That was a weekend. Mm-hmm. And we would have him every other weekend and every other weekday. And it's split in 2 completely. And I mapped it out. I had the whole thing.
He did.
And then I said, I want to share this with everybody. And I spread the papers around the room. And I said, I want you to sign the bottom. And all your signature says is that you saw the paper, not that you agreed to it or anything, just that you saw it. And Vanessa, you believe in God? I was praying the whole time. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh, it would have broke my heart. And, her attorney left the room with my attorney. And I sat there in a quiet room for a little while. Then her attorney came back and they left. Then they came back and said, okay. And so what my attorney said couldn't happen, happened. And thank God. It was a wonderful turn of events for me. It was a God moment, I think.
It was. It really was.
And I think those are the times where I had mediation all this week. Like every single day this week, I was in mediation.
Yeah.
That's what I like about those settlement conferences or mediation is when you're able to come up with something that's outside of the box. And that's what we try to do at our firm, is we come out with, everyone has a different idea of what 50-50 is. Everyone has a different idea of what substantial time with their children is, and coming up with something that works, because everyone has a different work schedule, everyone has a different hobby schedule, life schedule.
Oops.
So, you have to look at the whole picture.
And so I'm guessing that in the confines of your office, when you're talking to somebody going through a divorce, I mean, you really have to listen to what they have to say, and especially if there's children involved, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's when we start getting out, our little, just drawing out calendars and going, okay, what days work for you? What times work for you? What are your days off? Because especially if someone works a non-9-to-5 job, their days off are different. Mm-hmm. And say, okay, how can we make it work with your schedule? And there's even people who say, it doesn't matter what my days off are. Even if I'm working, I still want to have, a week on, week off schedule.
Yeah.
So, everyone has something different.
The phone lines are open if you have a question for Vanessa about your legal circumstances. The number is 622-9622, and you're welcome to call. Do you handle many lawsuits? Is a divorce considered a lawsuit?
Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So the answer is yes. But yeah, I do also civil litigation as well. But those I keep very small. I only take a handful of those cases.
Oh, really? Because?
Yes. They're very time consuming.
Oh, they are?
Yes. And I normally do because there's a lot of research, there's a lot of practice writing, like you're doing actually more work than you do legal work.
What is your advice to somebody entering into a contract?
Take it to an attorney to read over.
Take it to an attorney to read over. So it should be in writing. There's no handshake contract anymore, right?
You can. Technically that is legal. But then it turns into a he said, she said argument, and then it just becomes a lawsuit.
How about recording that kind of a handshake?
As long as both sides are okay with it.
Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Videotape.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Well, I've presumed what she meant by that was she was recording the...
Oh, the minutes or something?
Well, no, the verbiage
The audio.
that went along with the handshake.
Yeah,
not the
the
actual
audio.
physical handshake itself.
Is a marriage considered a contract? Or not the same?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
But
because you
more-
have that church and state thing, right?
Well, no.
Oh.
No, they're you can't have a marriage contract. But most of the time, when you talk about contracts in marriage, it's normally prenups or postnups
Oh.
because there's not really a marriage.
What's a postnup?
A prenup done after your marriage. It's the same thing. It's
Oh, you can do that?
you can.
Oh, you mean
yes.
after you've
Yeah,
married?
so after you're married and you say, okay, well now that we've done it, this is how we're going to divide. Should we get divorced?
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
exactly
gosh.
how everything's
Who
gonna
wants
be
to
divided.
talk about that when you're in love and all that other stuff is good? And
I think everyone should talk about that when they're in love.
really,
Absolutely.
why? Because everything put together sooner or later falls apart. That theory?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I guess in my perspective, it's a business decision. At times, you have to take your personal emotions and put them aside, and say, okay, if I know, for example, I'm going to make up a hypothetical with myself. So let's say I know that I'm coming into an inheritance, and that one day I'm going to get $1 million. If on some chance that this doesn't work, this marriage that I'm entering into, does my future husband get part of that $1 million, which is a family inheritance? Or do we sign a contract that says no matter what,
Oh, he doesn't get any of that.
that money belongs to me and my family? Whether me and my family is me and our future
okay,
children,
okay.
or me and my future children and my husband, doesn't matter. It's me and my family. It's for my family and I.
I have one I want to tell you about that I heard from Habitat for Humanity. So remind me of that when we come out of this phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Yes, good morning, Vanessa. See, my wife is an insurance agent, and every so many years she has to go back and take college credits to keep her license valid. What is the deal with the lawyers? Do they have to, is it something like them for lawyers too?
Yes, we have continuing education classes that we have to adhere to. So we have to take our classes every year and report it to the Florida Bar, and the Florida Bar keeps track of it. You have to take so many ethics hours, you have to take so many non-ethics hours, and they make sure you do it, otherwise you can't renew your license, and they yell at you.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
You don't like
welcome.
getting yelled at.
Wow.
I try not to get yelled at. I get yelled at all the time.
So
means you're
listen
good.
to this Habitat for Humanity story. We learned this from Brad Nimmo years ago. Brad has since passed away. Did you know Brad by chance?
I did not.
He was with Habitat for Humanity, and he told us this story about a woman who, because Habitat for Humanity, the way that you get the house, you have to work. You have
Correct.
to build a house. You have to, of course, pay for the house. It's not a handout in any way. So this woman got herself up from nothing, worked really hard to get her credit in order, which she had to do. It took her, I think, 2 years. Of course, put in all the sweat equity, hammering nails into other people's houses, and then finally had a house of her own with her children, right?
Yes.
And then she got married. And Brad was saying he wasn't really sure about this guy.
Right.
And he was afraid, and I don't think this ever happened, but if he was afraid at that time, I hope they never get divorced, because if they do, she might lose the house. Or could lose the house. The house she worked for, he could get. Now, you could switch the genders on this. I'm not trying to play favorites or non-favorites with one sex or the other. What happened? Somebody fell over?
No, we're just hearing the people in the back.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, is there any way to protect somebody in that situation? You've worked, whether it's Habitat or not, you've worked really hard to get your own house, right? Man or woman.
Yeah.
Right.
She moves in, he moves in, because you get married. Do they have a right to that house?
Well, she wasn't married at the time that it became hers, so she would classify it as a premarital asset. Then it gets into a little litigious situation of how long they lived there as a married couple versus how long she wasn't there, and then it gets into all kinds of things. You get around it by your prenup or your postnup.
So that's your recommendation, a prenup, a nuptial agreement, whether it's before you're married or after you're married.
That's correct.
And is that what happens in business then, when you have partnership in a business, or is that termed differently? You've got
Well, you
some
have-
kind of business contract, or?
Absolutely. You have a partnership agreement if it's a partnership, or you can have a members agreement if you have an LLC. You can have there's all different types of agreements.
And you
out
do
there.
those?
Absolutely.
Business stuff.
Right. No, because
Wow.
just like a marriage, and it's just like a business, or a business is just like a marriage, there's a lot of emotions that go in it, and a lot of different personalities. And sometimes until you get into the thick of it, or until something comes up, you don't realize whether there's going to be a clash or not. Sometimes you know beforehand because you know them for a really long time, but most of the time you don't really know So,
Well, Donald Trump's so business savvy that he said he relinquished control of his businesses to his children. I mean, how does he really know that he can trust them?
I'm pretty sure he has.
All the paperwork.
Still doing it.
I'm pretty sure he has some type of strings and tethers.
Does he have more than one attorney? Should you get more than one attorney if you're in business, or should you just have
I'm
one?
gonna say he has a team of attorneys.
Oh, okay. But there is still one guy that's like
my-
you'd be the head of
the team
your
of-
firm, of the team.
I don't know how his structure is, but there's plenty of people who are higher up who have teams of attorney, and while they might work together at times, they are disparate teams. They are different, and because they handle different things. Because he would have people for his real estate developments and all his real estate deals. His mergers and acquisitions would be a totally different team, because those are totally different practices of law, and he would want experts in each of those areas.
But that's what you do. You've got a whole bunch of credits to you yourself, and you do everything.
I don't do everything. I specialize in 3 small areas of law, and there's a whole sea of stuff. Like, I don't do mergers and acquisitions, and I don't do real estate development. So those are medical malpractice. There's a whole sea of stuff that I don't touch.
But you do
I might
civil
understand.
and criminal. I mean, that's amazing, right?
I'm amazed. I'm just watching your head, your wheels turn. It amazes me.
Yeah.
Well, there's
When we give you something and I can see the defense attorney popping out, that's pretty cool.
yeah, she comes out every once in a while.
All right, let's take a little break. If you want to call in, the number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On Friday, partly to mostly sunny. Beautiful day, high 73 to 77. Increasing clouds Friday night, lows ranging from the mid-40s in the interior to mid-50s along the coast. Saturday, mostly cloudy, breezy, and warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around in the afternoon. The high 76 in the north to 83 in the south and along the coast. Sunday, morning cloud and a shower or thunderstorm, then some sun, high 76 to 80. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
On top of the world, Ocala's premier active adult community has done it again, and this time it's bigger and better than ever before. 10 new, never-before-seen decorated models will make their debut on Saturday, February 25th at 10 a.m. 5 exciting new plans from our maintenance-free Premier Series, and 5 big new designs from our Estate Series in one convenient model center. Mark your calendars for the can't-miss model grand opening event. On Top of the World has all the lifestyle amenities you want right here. Enjoy over 300,000 square feet of air-conditioned recreational fun, plus over 181 acres of outdoor amenities. Join us on Saturday, February 25th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and tour our 10 new decorated models. On Top of the World is located on State Road 200 west of I-75 in Ocala, or visit online at ontopoftheworld.com. That's ontopoftheworld.com.
Equal housing opportunity.
The Daytona 500. It's the race that defines legends, and as the world's only motorsports stadium, Daytona International Speedway is the place that redefines what a race can be. You can experience it all and witness the next career-defining NASCAR moment at the Great American Race. But hurry, the 2016 race sold out, so don't miss out in 2017. The Daytona 500, Sunday, February 26th. Guarantee your seats at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or Daytona500.com.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2017. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated. Experienced and reliable. Commercial and residential. Licensed and insured. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Proud United States veteran.
All right, 5 minutes left. Oh my gosh, it goes so fast, doesn't it, Vanessa?
It does.
So should I mention the one I mentioned off the air?
You can.
All right, there was a story, and I was looking for it so I could read it verbatim, but I didn't find it. But there was a story of a man who was arrested for raping a woman, and while he's in jail, his cellmate kills him. After she finds out he's dead, she confesses that it was really consensual, and he had been saying that all along. When she went to the doctor, of course, because they really did have sex, the doctor was able to find DNA evidence that, yes, he indeed had been with her. But she was saying it was rape because she didn't want her husband to know she had an affair. Oops, sorry. Jeez, that was loud. Didn't want. Okay, so what would happen to her? Did she commit a crime?
Oh, absolutely. There not only so she has starting at the very basic level, she has a false report. She lied to the police. So she's giving
right away. She's got something.
Right away, right out the gate. That's what we have. We have lying to the police. That is not a good start. And then she went and did press conferences and did everything else. So she has all these slanderous statements against him. So you have all those things. Now, the one thing we were trying to find out, which you couldn't find the article yet, was why the
Roommate.
His roommate, his cellmate. You keep calling him his roommate. It's so optimistic and positive. His roommate, his cellmate killed him because that could have been anything. Personality clashes. Well, he could have done it because he thought he was a rapist. We don't know that right now. So there's all kinds of things you can go after that lady for.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't find it right quick. It was in this
She
morning's
might need a
news.
Divorce attorney too.
Probably. We'll send her your card.
I probably have it somewhere
No, you
here.
send him my card. Her husband, her poor husband.
That's right.
If you have a legal issue that you would need an attorney for, we recommend Vanessa. I have a family member who is a client of Vanessa's. Is she almost done? Is her
Fingers
case?
crossed.
Fingers crossed. And go to the Jennings Law Firm at 2945 Northeast 3rd Street on the 2nd floor, or call 804-0092. Do we use your website for anything?
Information.
JenningsLaw.net, right?
Correct.
JenningsLaw.net.
What else am I supposed to be using it for?
Well, I don't
It's
know.
out there. Dissemination.
You can't buy tickets there.
I meant maybe I can start selling tickets.
Are you
I
on a
don't know.
retainer? I've always wondered about the whole retainer idea.
Am I on a retainer?
Does anybody
No, I
have
am
you on
not.
a retainer?
Yes.
Some people do.
Okay.
So why does somebody have an attorney on a retainer? What does that do?
Okay, well, there's several different ways of using that word.
Okay.
So I have clients who have me on a retainer where they give me money for a year. And if they ever have questions, that's their...
They just call you up?
They just call me up.
How much is that?
Well, it depends on the client.
I want to do that.
I have a couple businesses who do that. So they'll call up with questions and
Okay.
It's anywhere from $500 to $1,000 depending on,
I
the
can call
level
you
of-
anytime?
Well, no, there's restraints on it.
Oh, okay.
I am not answering your question at midnight on a Sunday. I'll be sleeping.
And then do you send a bill then every time you get a question asked, and that's deducted from the retainment fee?
On that, when I'm retained in that instance, there's actually a contract that it's a flat fee for the year. But I have been retained for them, so I am at their disposal. Now, there's the traditional way of when someone says that there's a retainer out there, which is where you give, I want to go hire a divorce attorney, you give them a lump sum of money, and then you just draw against it as you bill hourly.
Oh, okay.
So it just sits in your trust account to use it.
I'm going to be on a retainer somewhere. Just pay me, and then I'll come do some radio for you. Vanessa, thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Larry.
Call
Thank you,
Vanessa.
Robin.
She's done with the show, so call her at her office, 804-0092, 804-0092. We'll be right back. Herb Freed up next. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.